Hi. Welcome to TableTalk Friday, a D&D podcast. Three guys are going to talk to each other and give their advice and opinions on Dungeons and Dragons and whatnot. If you like the show, make sure to follow them on whichever podcast service you prefer and come back every single Friday for another upload or episode, whatever you prefer to call it. Have fun, I guess. Bye. Yeah, ta-ta. Bye. See ya. Bye. Bye. But, guys, welcome to the segment of the show that I like to get into quite often where I talk about what game I played this week.
That's my favorite segment!
And all I've done for the past 4 days is play the Guardians of the Galaxy game that released in 2021. And it's fucking great.
Is it?
It's so good. So it's got its flaws. It's definitely got its flaws. The gameplay is very boring. The gameplay itself, very boring. I'm tired of it. I'm ready for it to be over. But what is not tiring at all is the narrative between these Guardians. This is the best Guardians movie.
Okay.
In the way that I thought that, like, the Spider-Man games were, like, the best Spider-Man movies, and I'm talking Spider-Man PS4, like, being the best Spider-Man movie. This is the best Guardians movie out of, like, the two movies that came out in the MCU. It's so good. Drew was into the narrative when I was playing through it out there. All the characters are great. And Drax is basically Drax from the MCU. Groot and Rocket, you're getting the same thing from the MCU. Same for Peter, but Gamora is so much better than MCU Gamora. She's so much more likable.
I think she looks cooler too.
Oh yeah, her character model is way better. And these are my Guardians now. Like, I look at the MCU Guardians, I'm like, fucking knockoffs. Like, these ones are great.
I really like though they have the costumes for the movies though in the game.
Yes.
You can kind of roleplay it if you want to.
I unlocked the casual costumes earlier today.
Oh, did you?
First of all, my Groot now has a mohawk of, like, spines, and it's great. Drax is still base Drax because he's the best one so far that I've gotten.
Okay.
But Rocket and Gamora have casual outfits now, which are way better than their original designs, where I'm like, oh, this should have been the one you went with the whole time.
Is it just like Final Fantasy 15, like street clothes, or?
Kinda. Just imagine, like, Gamora is wearing just like a green jacket, and underneath is just like a tank top, and then Rocket's just wearing a really nice jacket, and it's like, oh, they're just like in nice clothes.
Neat. Then they have the evil variants, right? You unlock like the Hellspawn
the five
versions.
Horsemen variants from the comics. Yeah,
I don't see
Horsemen
why you
of the
need
Apocalypse. It's like, oh yeah, what if these guys were evil, and they look demonic.
I think it's so far off what the storyline would be, it just doesn't work.
The bad thing is every time I get a skin, I'm like, come on, please be a good one for Star-Lord. Please. And I never get a Star-Lord skin. I go, I hate this game. So the exploration, boring. The combat, boring. You know what's great? All the narrative. Every time I get to a part of the story, I'm in. And luckily, the Guardians are almost always talking, so that dialogue carries you through the game, and it's not a super long game. I think it's like 16, 17 hours, and I'm almost done. I'm on chapter 13 out of 16. So.
Okay, well, I mean, I do love the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, so I don't know. Maybe I'll pick it up.
If it's $20 or less, or if it's like $20, pick it up for sure. If I think I bought it for like $30. And I feel like the price was worth it, totally.
I think it's reasonable.
Yeah, it was a reasonable price. I fell off of it after the first couple hours just because I was playing a bunch of stuff at once.
Right.
And then I jumped back into it the other day and was like, oh, this is a lot of fun. But like I said, there are some, or the facial animations and the cutscenes and stuff are top tier. Like, they're really, really good. The art and everything is great. Like, if you watch the trailers, it's like, oh, this is gross. Like, it doesn't look like a good game in the trailers. I fully acknowledge that because when Drew and I watched the first trailer that came out for that game, I remember we were like, that looks like a horrible game. and
yeah.
And I was like, well, I guess I'm not buying that one. And then it came out, and I would give it right now, based on everything I've had, an 8 out of 10 just because the narrative is so good. The combat, 6 out of 10. And then there's a lot of weird, like, graphical errors that happen sometimes where it's like you're walking and then like two layers like start to overlap over and over again. You're like, oh, that's gross. Or like the game crashed for me twice on PS5, and I was like, oh, great. Now I have to go back 2 minutes in my save and do that again.
Yucky.
But other than some like weird graphical bugs and whatnot, like, it's worth playing. It's totally worth playing, especially if it's on sale. Like, I wouldn't pay $60 for it, but there's almost nothing I would pay $60 for now that's not a Nintendo game.
Yeah, well, that's sort of my whole thing is $60 is still a lot for a game, and on PS5 exclusives dropping for $70 is still just kind of disgusting.
Yup.
So, I don't know.
Guess who's not playing Horizon Forbidden West on release? This
That
guy.
Yeah, I really want to watch it though, and I'm not going to pay for it, so I need you to buy it so I could watch.
Yeah, I'll buy it whenever it's down to like $20, which it will be in a year.
Yeah, but to immediately contradict myself, what I am going to be buying on launch for full price.
Elden Ring.
Yes, of course. Of
Yeah,
course
I knew
Elden
you were
Ring.
going to say that, dude. That's literally going to be on. It hasn't even come out. We already know it's going to be on Game of the Year lists everywhere.
Yeah. Well, and I'm literally taking off work just to play.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I'm guessing those are like paid days off, though.
Yeah, of course.
Taking some PTO for Elden Ring. What's the release date for that? It's in like a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, I think it's the 26th.
Oh, 3 weeks. That's so close. That does not feel like that close.
I'm excited to see if we have like a worldwide group of people just not going to work again. Like, remember when they released GTA 5 or 6? I can't remember which one it
GTA
was.
5.
GTA
6
5.
is not out yet. It got
Oh, well.
teased this week.
I'm excited to see what people do with that too. I'm not a big GTA guy, but I enjoy watching the clips.
Oh, I remember kids taking off school that day that GTA 5 came out. I was like, I'm not doing that because I'm not really a GTA guy.
Yeah, same. But
it's, it's the biggest money-making property in the world, so
Yeah.
who am I to judge it?
well, and maybe I'll play the new one. My issue with GTA 5 is like when it came out, everyone was talking about it. So, of course, I watched a full playthrough on YouTube. And, I saw plenty of content.
It's all about
surrounding
GTA
it.
Online, Zach.
Yeah.
No one cares about the story. I mean, the story's part of it, but it's all about GTA Online. It's about that metaverse that they got built in there.
Well, you see, I kind of liked the story in GTA 5. I think that was like a really strong part of it. So if and when GTA 6 comes out, I'll probably play through the campaign just to have that one-time experience, and then I'll probably never touch a GTA
it
again.
may as well go ahead and get a sale for them.
Yeah.
They need the money.
Yeah, I heard they were going under.
Yeah, I
Support
heard.
your local businesses, really. Come on.
Well, I think Take-Two owns Rockstar, right?
Yeah, they're
Oh,
local.
yeah.
Right down the street.
I bought a Rockstar at the store the other day.
Oh, yeah. I feel like the GTA story is very similar to like Call of Duty stories where I'm kind of interested for about 20 minutes and then I just don't play it.
Oh, well, it's a different animal, though, because GTA stories are way longer, whereas Call of Duty stories, it's like, I got a free
for sure.
6 to 8 hours.
And they put a butt ton of work and detail into these things. Like, the stories really are fleshed out. I don't think I'm into it enough to do the entire thing.
See, but now that all the Call of Duty stories will hopefully be on Game Pass within the next year, then it's like,
that's true.
oh, well, maybe it's worth playing now that I just have to download it and play.
For sure.
To which case, which Call of Duty do you play first? I don't know.
Well, since Laura Bailey was like the star of this last one, of whichever one, Vanguard, I think she was the
didn't know
star
that.
in the single player campaign as like a sniper or whatever. I'll play that one
Okay, I'm kind of into
just
it.
to support good old Laura Bailey.
Yeah, she has gotten a lot of support lately.
Yeah,
I mean, for good reason. I love Laura Bailey.
Yeah.
But, see her everywhere now. She's
Yeah,
like the...
that's great.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. But that's sort of how it is,
I have not. Drew and I have committed to watching The Legend of Vox Machina, and we have not opened it yet. We have to actually open it because we're both huge Critical Role fans. Like, we love that show, and we just haven't had time where the two of us are in the same place to actually sit down and watch it.
We got to pick a date and just do it.
I'm pretty sure the first 9 episodes are out. I think.
How long are the episodes? Do we know?
Like 20 to 30 minutes.
That's it?
Yeah,
Oh, we can grind this out real quick.
that's what I'm saying. We could watch like 3 or 4 episodes tonight.
Or do we cherish it? Do we kind of like...
No, we
break
watch
up
it
a
right
little
away.
bit?
We watch the whole
Do
thing. We watch the whole thing.
You kind of have to binge it. I mean, again, it's not that long. It's just a cartoon.
Yeah, it's gonna be 10 episodes.
Yeah, it's true. It's just 20 to 30 minutes. That's the perfect amount of time for like a dinner show.
Exactly.
You
That's
sit
the perfect
down,
amount
eat
of
some
time for
little
dinner.
food.
You finish your food in the first episode and then watch a second one while you're still sitting there.
Yeah.
And then watch like 8 more, and then don't go to bed.
Like when we used to watch Ink Master every day, we'd go like 2 or 3
Oh.
episodes, and those things are almost an hour.
Yeah.
Every
So
episode.
long, man. They were entertaining though. They were good.
Oh yeah, it was
It
great.
was good.
I loved it till it got boring. It got to the point in the seasons where I was like, wow, they're not even doing good tattoos anymore. Are they even trying?
Let's just be real. The only reason anybody watches Ink Master is to get to the season finale where it's live.
Stop.
Super
The
cringy,
cringiest
awkward.
hour and a half of your life. It's like, let's sit here and watch Dave Navarro go, oh, what? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Oh, I'm supposed to react now? Okay. Yeah. So you're gonna tattoo. Yeah, can you show us his back? That's what I was thinking. And it's the cringiest things. Oh, I hated that. We literally skipped through the episodes just to look at the tattoos and go, ooh, and then end the episode to see who wins.
Which is the best part. Watch it.
Oh yeah. It's on my bucket list now to get a tattoo from one of the shops that they own, the one of the winners owns. Just because I'm like, oh well, I like that show a lot. I can reserve a spot like my left butt cheek and be like, hey, someone at this shop, do whatever you want with it.
Just go all out of my butt cheek. Please.
Well, I don't want them doing my D&D tattoo.
Well,
No?
yeah, I just want to draw attention to the idea of you walking into this tattoo
No.
shop.
I would have had to reserve it 3 years out.
You drop trow and say, this right here, do what you want with it.
No, we would have had an email chain, and I would have been like,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, we would have been an email chain like back and forth. Hey, Greg, I want to get a tattoo. When are you available? Well, you got to book me 3 years out. Okay, I'll book you 3 years out. March of 2026. Well, 2025. That's 3 years. March of 2025. I want you to have a blank canvas. You can do whatever you want with my left butt cheek. And he texts me back. Sounds good, man.
Come on, Greg. You have free range.
I don't even remember a Greg from Ink Master.
I don't think. Is there a Greg in
I
Ink
know.
Master?
Shout out to Clean Rock 1, my favorite
he was good.
competitor from Ink Master.
He was pretty solid. He was really good with his new school stuff.
Oh yeah, I would love a cool new school tattoo, but I don't have like a good thought on new school. I just like the style, so I'm like, oh yeah, you can borrow my left ankle.
I feel like if you go new school, you kind of have to let them do what they want.
Yeah,
Because that's their thing. You know, I want to see what they can creatively put on me.
yeah, exactly. Or a really cool like biomechanical type tattoo.
I don't know if that's new school,
Like,
though.
No, that's not new school. It's a totally different. It's biomechanical. Like I would love to see though, like what they can do with the biomechanical, like on my calf.
See, that would be cool. I feel like it's too easy to mess up biomechanical, and I've watched too much Ink Master to know how hard it is.
Yeah,
now.
I've watched too much Ink Master to know that there are a lot of really bad ones and very few really good ones.
Do you think Greg could do it?
Oh,
I have
dude,
full faith
Greg's
in
got
Greg.
me. Greg's got me handled. I'd give my life for Greg.
Oh, would you? Well, at least your left butt cheek.
Oh my god, a biomechanical left butt cheek. I don't care what that looks like. Like, come on, how cool would that be?
What would that
Yeesh.
consist of?
Underneath is just like a bunch of wires. And
Do you think there'd be
It's
wires
where my
or
battery
gears?
pack is. It's a
I feel like that
battery
would be
pack.
like, where the center of the core is, you know?
I get a battery pack tramp stamp.
But
No.
then I could just imagine, you forget that you have this tattoo on your left butt cheek. Like you're fully inked up. You've got ink all over. And then, just one day, you're at the gym and oops, I bent over too quickly and my left ass cheek's exposed.
Which happens all the time at the gym.
Yeah, and now I have to explain to my boss.
Okay.
My biomechanical ass.
My boss, who was also at the gym at the same time my underwear came down.
Yes, of course.
Oh my god. So for the viewers out there, I do have one tattoo, and it's a Zelda health bar on my left forearm. It's just 3 hearts, and kids ask me all the time, "What do those hearts mean? Is that a tattoo?" And I go, "Yeah, it's my health bar." And they go, "No, it's not. It's a tattoo." And I go, "No, actually, it's a real health bar." And then they try to hit me. They'll like hit me in the stomach, and I'll go, "Yeah, it didn't do enough damage."
Oh.
And I say that to kids all the time. And then they try to hit me harder. And I'm like, guess you're not strong enough. And it makes me feel good.
Next time, just to see the reaction, you got to start making pained villager noises in Minecraft.
Oh, yours was really good right there.
Yeah, I mean,
I just pointed at Drew, by the way.
I did the voice acting for a lot of the villagers in Minecraft. It's no big deal.
I totally felt like there was something else I needed to say, but it's gone now. So we may as well go ahead and start talking about today's topic for Table Talk Friday. Welcome to today's episode, and we're going to get into the world of metagaming. Zach, what is metagaming? Can you define that for me very briefly?
Yeah, sure. So metagaming is sort of, if you think about players all sitting down to play D&D, or really, if we talk about like games more broadly, there's a specific thing that you sort of expect out of D&D, which is the role-playing and being in character in the world. Metagaming is interacting with that game in a way that brings outside knowledge from the game world. So not acting like your character or, bringing outside knowledge to the game. Usually this word is used in a way that sort of talks poorly about players who do this and bring that sort of outside knowledge to a space where maybe their character wouldn't know that.
For example,
like
I think the go-to example to say, especially for low-level players, is with, like, say a troll. Trolls have one very specific weakness, and outside knowledge, like as the DMs, we would know, trolls are vulnerable to fire, meaning any fire damage done to a troll is doubled. Some of your players may know that, some of them may not. But say you've got a wizard on the team who doesn't know it, but then you've got the metagamer on the other side of the table. He's the fighter, and he knows trolls are weak to fire, and he's like, hey, cast Burning Hands on it. Trolls are weak to fire. But the wizard doesn't know that. Like, the wizard didn't know that, and their character may or may not have known it. Typically in those types of situations, if the wizard says, well, since I'm a smart guy, do I know if trolls are weak to anything? Now I have them roll like a nature check or something, and now they can figure out, maybe they do. Maybe they do know that trolls are weak to fire. But if they do that without any like checks or anything in the game, then that would be considered metagaming. If they're just like, I'm going to cast Burning Hands because I know trolls are weak to fire, as opposed to like a magic missile or something like that.
I think it opens a good range for development with your characters of learning what kind of creatures they've encountered. What have they done in the past that you haven't gone over? What lands have they explored? I think it really opens it up.
Right. So when we talk about metagaming, usually you'll hear a lot of angry DMs talking about their players and how they're really frustrated with bringing meta knowledge into their situations and how they can really curb that sort of behavior. And I'd love to hear both of your thoughts on this, but I think more or less at our table we've sort of hit a sweet spot with meta knowledge, and we understand that there's a time and a place for bringing in the metagame, and just sort of a general understanding that we live in a fantasy world with fantastical things that happen all the time. You're telling me that as an adventurer who set out to risk my life, I haven't heard, anyone ever say, hey, watch out for red dragons. They're immune to fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that. As long as there's, some sort of way to justify that sort of knowledge, I really don't have an issue with it. For my players, bringing that sort of knowledge, or if there's something more, D&D specific that may not be as well known, like, the rules with vampires and how, they typically can't enter a home. That's not true for every vampire.
Right.
So what are the rules for my vampires and that sort of thing? That might be more organically learned within the world. Yeah. Or it might be, there are myths and legends about vampires and the players have to figure out what they are. But if a player knows what a vampire is, I'm not going to say, yeah, but your character wouldn't know, because of course they know. If anyone ever saw a vampire, everyone would know.
So the way I kind of like to think about it is I don't have an issue with anyone at my table having knowledge about the game. I don't care that 3 out of the 5 people at my table have DM'd their own campaigns before. But I have a problem when people take away say, I'll put an example for someone at our table. So say, Drew, you're a completely new player. You've played a couple of sessions with us, but you don't know everything about the game. You're still learning as you go. Okay. Zach, you're a veteran player. You've been playing for years at this point.
Yes, I am.
And you know pretty much every stat block from the monster manual. So you read through it. You have a fun time learning those things, and let's say you read through it. Now, if Drew is experiencing this game for the first time, I want him to have the magic of discovering this himself, right? And you guys run into an iron golem. Let's say, you run into an iron golem, and you, the new player, Drew, decide, you know what? I'm just going to test the waters here and cast Firebolt. It's already taken a little bit of damage from Zach's character, and Zach's like, no, don't do that, because if you cast a fire spell on it, you'll heal it. Well, now the magic's a little bit ruined. That moment of you casting it and being like, oh, shit. Like, that would have been a nice moment for you as the player to be like, oh my gosh, iron golems heal from fire? That's crazy. Now that magic is gone, where you're just like, oh, well, I'm not going to do that anymore. Shocking grasp.
Yeah, and so I think it's always on the entire group to sort of understand the expectations when you go into a game like this. My personal philosophy on this sort of thing. When I was first starting out, I sort of wanted to know like the details. Like once I found out that orcs have 16 hit points or however many hit points they have, I'd always like raise an eyebrow when my DM, like I dealt 16 hit points and it wasn't dead yet. Like DM, it has 16 hit points. But calling that sort of stuff out during the game really isn't beneficial to anyone. And now I think it's a lot more helpful and interesting for everyone involved. Say if we did recently fight an iron golem and someone cast a fireball on it, and I just chose not to say the special thing about it.
Yeah.
Because they may not have known. Their character didn't know, evidently.
Yeah, and that's totally okay.
And hypothetically, if it does happen, you don't want to say anything because you really want the rest of the session to just totally rag on your buddy. Just totally screwed up the fire encounter for everybody.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't like a screw up moment. So, guys, we did have this happen a little bit recently. That's why I used Iron Golem specifically, because Iron Golems, if you don't know, don't ruin this for another player at your table, but if you cast fire damage, they have fire absorption, so they heal from any fire damage you do to them. I, as the DM, learned this reading the stat block, having DM'd for almost 4 years now, learned this for the first time, and then whenever I was adding the Iron Golem into the combat, I was like, oh, well, that's pretty cool, and then after it ended up that one of our players cast Fireball and healed it, and I mentioned it as it happened, and it was very funny. But it wasn't like a game-ending thing. It wasn't you ruined the session for us. Everyone was like, haha, you idiot. You dumb idiot.
You know what? It was a good experience watching you learn that, because it went from, the Iron Golem has fire immunity. He's resistant. Oh, no, he heals. He heals from fire. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I saw your guys' faces, and I was like, what's the big deal, guys? He cast a spell it's immune to. And then I read the stat block again and went, awesome.
Yeah, that's the kind
really
of
funny.
fly-by-your-seat DMing that we appreciate in Seth's games.
Yeah, I love it, because, usually all I think about before I start DMing a session is the story. I think about, okay, these are the story beats I want to hit today, and the encounters I run will usually end up going pretty well, as I'm just like, oh yeah, well, whenever it comes up, I'll take whatever scene I've built on the board and make it a little fun encounter, and I'll fly by the seat with the encounter because that's the fun part for me. And also, I don't want to plan encounters around your characters, especially like when we get to that. I don't want to metagame my encounters, so like I'm like, well, how would this encounter be set up in the exact scenario when the party comes walking up? So I don't usually think like, okay, this one's going to go exactly here. This one's going to pop up here. I'm like, okay, well, they positioned themselves here. Where was this thing before, and why would it be here now? So I don't usually think all the details for the encounter out, because I think DMs can metagame too much, where they're like, oh, well, I know where all the party members are and their specific weaknesses. And one thing that I would hate if I was a player and the DM did this to me is if they made the monsters act differently because they have knowledge. Like, for example, when we were in Inverness, I made the Hezros act like dumb idiot animals, as they would. Instead of going for the wizards, they went for the first thing in front of them, the biggest guy. They fought Nuth. Because
and they lost.
But like, I wasn't going to take that knowledge that, oh, well, this guy's the obvious frontliner. Let's go for the little guys in the back, because this is the guy that's blocking them. They have to get through him.
Right. And I think there's a time and a place for that sort of thing. But, again, just my mantra with metagaming is the best way to avoid any, butthurt feelings at the table, or, feelings of, people being targeted, is make it make sense in the world.
Yes.
So if you've got a villain that knows every spell that your wizard has and has planned perfectly around everything that they've done.
An archmage or a lich.
Yeah, they have to have been scrying on them and know of their presence previously, and that's all it takes.
Yeah.
And for that to happen in the world is perfectly fine, because then your players know, oh, well, I should have cast non-detection, or I should have done this, I should have done that.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly avoidable, and then it's your job as the DM to say, okay, you passed this test. They don't know everything that you can do.
Yes.
And I think testing the players is really where the fun part of metagaming actually comes in. Because as the DM, I think it's fun to challenge your players, to introduce tension or plot points, So maybe introducing like a party that, maybe plays to some of the weaknesses of the party that you're running. Or maybe you introduce a monster that, he's resistant to magic because your player's abusing a lot of magic recently to just totally incapacitate people. So it's fun for everybody to metagame in that sense. but I feel like it's very difficult as a player to introduce fun as with metagaming.
Yes.
Well, and so it really depends on what you're defining metagaming as, because I think another important aspect of the metagame is, all right, now I'm talking in character, now I'm not talking in character.
Right.
And how you divvy that up. For example, puzzles can be very difficult to solve in character.
Yes.
There comes a time where, your DM has laid out all the evidence for you, and you know what? Oswin Alemaker himself just can't figure it the fuck out. So Zach needs to step in and say, okay, let's go through, review the parts, let's put it together now.
Which is why I like the most recent way we've only done like 2 puzzles in this campaign, but the most recent way we've done it is the way I appreciated it most, where it's like, okay, I want you guys to come up with knowledge you would like to use from your character for this puzzle and put it to good use, and I'll give you the answers, Like, okay, Pyth, you went to wizard school. Use your wizard knowledge for what these sigils mean. It's like, okay, roll an Arcana check. Boom. Okay, these sigils mean this. And then I give you the very bare bones thing where it's like, oh, we just have to line these up and we're done. Like, it's an easy puzzle, but your character's got to figure it out. Like, oh, I, Pyth, would know this. I, Oswin, being a tinkerer, would know this type deal.
Yeah, and that was super fun as well, because out of character, we all were talking like, okay, well, what could this mean? What is this? How does this line up exactly? And then as we got closer to the answers, you would give us, skill checks in character and give us just, hints and little extra tidbits of knowledge that sort of led us in the right direction.
Yeah.
And
it didn't take an hour.
Yeah, exactly. It ended up being a puzzle that we spent an adequate amount of time on.
Like 15 minutes.
Yeah, everyone was, fully satisfied with the puzzle, I would say. But it did not overstay its welcome.
Yes.
So kudos to you for that.
Thank you.
I think that's a fantastic, example of good metagaming.
Yeah, exactly. That is a situation where metagaming comes in handy. Is I think the planning phase. If you out of character want to have conversations like, what are we going to do next session? How can we make this fun for everyone? Something that like Zach and I would do frequently in our first campaign, our very first time. Zach and I were roommates in college, and we would, outside of D&D, stay up for like 3 or 4 hours just being like, we're in this situation in Lost Mines of Phandelver. How are we going to solve it? There's no way we solve this situation, right? And then that was the magic of D&D, guys. I'm sure if you're a listener right now, you have felt it before. But the magic was for us like, well, okay, so how about I do this next session and then you do this, and then we'll try to make it work. And we were just having a blast with it. And if that is totally your thing, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a totally acceptable way to metagame, is just talking about it with your friends.
Yeah, and I will say there was a little bit of unwholesome metagaming going on there too. I wouldn't recommend your players look at the monster manual, but we were new. So when
and it was cool.
Yeah, when Lanky Eric says, and then a wraith appears, and we're all at less than half health because we just got in a big fight with a big wizard.
Oh well, I didn't look at the wraith stat block.
No, I didn't look at the wraith stat block, but I'd seen it before, and I knew it was at least a CR5, and we were level 4.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
So I was.
But that's okay.
Really, yeah.
Nowadays we know that's okay. Where it's like, oh my god, we shouldn't be fighting this. It's a CR5.
Yeah.
No way.
Well,
but nowadays, if you guys were level 4, I'm totally throwing a wyvern, a CR6 at you. Like, sure.
Oh, for sure. And to be fair, I learned later after reading the full module, that wraith is a special wraith who sucks. He's only a CR3.
What?
So, we were all scared
and we almost
for nothing.
died.
Yeah.
We almost died.
And you wanted that tattoo of Schmidt killing that wraith.
I still want it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good scene.
Yeah, it's still one of my favorite moments from it. And, maybe if you guys listen next week, you'll hear the story of me killing the wraith. I don't think we told it yet, right?
No, not yet.
I could tell that story.
That's a good story.
See, I feel like wraiths are ruined for me now, because all I think of when I hear wraith are those stupid frozen breezes in Skyrim that just kind of blow around. It's like, what
the
is
ice
that?
wraiths?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
awful.
hilarious.
You see, I think they're really cool, like in design and like sound, though.
But they're irritating as hell.
Yeah, they are. But it's a cool looking thing.
It does look
if I
cool.
put it in D&D, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like if
It's
you
like
were
a little.
outside in the
It's like
winter
a.
and
It's
you
like a
farted
flying
and
ice
it
worm,
blew
dude.
around in the wind.
I agree with Zach. They do look cool, but at the same time, I hate them. Like anytime I see one in Skyrim, I go, "Oh, go away."
Yeah.
That's why you go full mage, put your skill points in nothing but magic, and just fireball them over and over again.
So,
I'm just not going to acknowledge what you said, and I'd like to continue our conversation, please.
outside of what are some metagaming like absolute no-goes for you guys? So mine, for one, is if I'm running a module, I expect that you have not looked at the module at all. For example, in Lost Mines of Phandelver, there are multiple. I'm only using that as an example because it's the most accessible one. But there are plenty of magic items and things you can find. Only a couple of dungeons. If you read through that thing, you know everything that's going to happen in the campaign, like, very quickly. So I expect, even if you own the starter kit or something like that, that you are not going to read through Lost Mines of Phandelver before we play it.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the number one metagaming. I mean, honestly, we'll call it what it is: cheating behavior that I would not allow at my table at all. If you've read the module, even parts of it, if you own the module and claim to have read it, I just don't think that, unless we have like a serious conversation of, yes, I have this meta knowledge, but I've elected to play this 6 intelligence character who's incapable of speech and will not influence anything at the table at all. Okay, I guess you can sit in, but only under that very specific circumstance would I even consider it, because
like, you've had your tongue cut out.
Yeah, what's the point of playing the game if you know what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And then you're just allowing that person to, even in subtle ways, or even if they don't mean to, for ruining the fun of everyone else there, because everyone else is so worried because they don't know what's going to happen, and you're sitting back smiling because you're like, I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Which just feels boring. I feel like you'd have to be acting the entire time you were playing rather than actually immersing yourself in the adventure with your friends. You know?
I mean, you basically be like a mini DM who sucks and and saps away everyone else's fun.
Yeah, and could you imagine if that person was also like correcting the DM on things that they changed? Because I, as a DM, every time I play a module, change so much stuff to where I'm like, oh, could you imagine if that person was like, that's not supposed to be a skeleton. That's supposed to be a zombie. Could you imagine having that person?
Seth, I built my entire character around zombies for this campaign. What did you do?
Made them skeletons.
My character's useless.
You bastard. You monster.
So
I quit.
Another one that I'd say is also cheating, but a little bit of like metagamey, is especially if you're like an online player, but like someone who like hides their dice and claims they rolled a certain thing. So like, that is just straight up cheating. But I think it comes with the same conversation. Like someone who's like, we have people who play online with us sometimes where Chase or Sean could be at home. Sean is almost always going to be online. Sometimes he's here, sometimes he's not. He lives far away. But Sean, I know I can 100% without fail trust to roll physical dice. We do not make Sean roll online because he is a trustworthy player. If he rolls a nat 1, he says he rolls a nat 1. If he rolls amazing, I definitely trust that he rolled amazing. And there have been multiple times where I see the real reaction on his face where he's like, oh, and he gets a nat 20, and then he immediately moves the camera over top and is like, look, I did it. So we happen to have a very trustworthy group of players in that way. But for the love of God, there are so many people who will try to cheat you like that because they don't like, quote unquote, losing. There is no losing in D&D unless you die. Which even so, the story continues even if you die. But cheating rolls like that, unacceptable.
Yeah, agreed. And I think it's very important to find a group that you can trust, because I really think that metagaming it's very often talked about, but I only really see it happen amongst groups of people who are either, experienced DMs with newer players, or players and DMs that are adversarially playing towards each other, where they're trying to kill DMs who try to kill the players, so players feel the need to try and cheat because they don't want to lose.
Right.
Stuff like that. So you need to play D&D with a group of people that you like, and honestly, playing with your friends is usually the best option. If your friends don't like D&D, I'm very sorry. But that's my experience.
If your friends don't like D&D, get new friends, idiot.
Yeah.
Metagame your friends, boys.
I'll be your friend. Email us at tabletalkfriday@gmail.com.
Hey, I was trying to think of another one about. It's gone. It's gone, guys. It's gone.
Meta magic that you get level 2 as a sorcerer.
Yeah, that's
That
it.
one's pretty good. I really like that one. I think it's fair though. I think it's balanced metagaming.
In the terms of like cheating and whatnot, I feel like it could be that was it. So a DM who fudges rolls. What do you guys feel about that? Because I feel like this is a very controversial topic where I will say there were a couple times when I first started DMing where I was like, oh, that's not a very satisfying like roll or conclusion, or like, oh, the boss fight's going to end too early. Should I go ahead and like fake this one a little bit? And I did in my first couple of times. But I remember when we started Descent into Avernus where I was like, no, I'm going to go by the dice the whole time. And I've kept up to that the entire time. And I actually think it's been a better experience because of it.
I am inclined to agree. So my opinion on this has flip-flopped a lot as well. And there are different sort of methods for this form of cheating that I think are okay. But ultimately, I think it's the best if you're all going to sit down and play this game and agree that the dice are going to decide the outcomes for the players. I think they should decide the outcome for the DM as well. So, but if you were to fudge your dice, don't let your players know about it. I think that's probably the best way to do it because that's a great way to break trust. And set some sort of limits for yourself because
yes,
when I first started DMing, I really didn't want things to go poorly. I really wanted my players to have a great time. And so I did fudge dice, and I found myself just instinctively, oh, well, I didn't like that roll. I'll just take the median instead. Stuff like that. It shouldn't come down to multiple damage rolls where you're like, oh, yeah, my dice are on fire. I really don't want to kill them today. It shouldn't come down to that. So limit it to maybe you give yourself the lucky feat, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
And you get that for like a whole campaign.
Yeah. I could see stuff like that. I have committed to like not doing anything unless a certain character has the lucky feat or something like that for the duration of the campaign. But yeah, I do see what you mean where it's like if I'm absolutely destroying the party, it's like, oh no. A lot of times when that's happening though, the players will go switch dice, and I'll do it. And I know there's not really anything going on there, but it's like a fun little thing where it's like I actually will switch my dice and be like, I'm gonna use this one now, guys. Oh, another nat 20.
Okay, finally we stopped dying. Huh, that's weird.
To go off tangent, on a tangent though, your blue dice are the best dice that exist.
I don't use them anymore though.
Yeah, I know, because they got so many friggin' nat 20s, and now your orange die.
Oh yeah, the orange die and the yellow one too. The yellow Xanathar one.
Yeah, your little Funko Pop die.
Yeah,
you should burn that one.
That one got I think 3 nat 20s in a session, and I was like, oh my gosh. The big Layer All Silverhand ones do not roll that well, and I roll them pretty often. Where I'm like, oh, these ones don't do amazing. But yeah, there are certain sets of dice that I'm like, are these weighted? Because Sean and I both bought the Chessex dark blue dice. We both bought a box of those. $15, guys. Not worth it. But what is worth it? The rolls from those D20s in there. Because the rest of the dice roll pretty normally. But the D20 in that set, Sean and I both agreed. We were like, we have the same set of dice, right? Yes. This D20 is amazing. Like, I don't know what it is about this D20, but it's great because constantly we'd be like, roll, and we're rolling like 15 to 20 for like 10 rolls in a row, and it's like, I don't know what to say, guys. I'm not trying. I'm just rolling the die. We don't know how to roll dice properly.
Yeah, it's disgusting. So, anyways, I do think, not that I'm superstitious at all, but if there was one thing that I am superstitious about, there are some dice that roll better than other dice, and I always use my purple dice as a DM because I know that it's never rolled a nat 20. I'm 100% serious, and so that's my DM die because I have yet to roll a nat 20 with it.
So sad, Zach.
That is very sad.
Well, yeah, I never whip it out as a player, but honestly, it's a perfect DM die.
Yeah, you don't want dice that are too hot as a DM. Because I remember in Storm Kings getting a lot of nat 20s with the blue dice because they were just my favorite, so I always use them. And now I have different dice for like player to DM. I'm like, okay, well these are my good D20s for when I'm playing Elijah, and then these are my other ones for when I'm DMing now.
Yeah.
I use a very specific die for when I'm DMing. It's a very large die, so that if I choose to roll on the table openly, everyone can see it very simply without having to move too much. And I like it because it rolls absolutely awful, like 100, like so bad. You guys were up against a fighter that had mirror image up as an Eldritch Knight, and he rolled below was it a 6 3 times in a row? So we got hit every time. It's awful, but it allows me to throw way stronger stuff at my players because I know it'll never hit them.
Yeah.
I have encountered a couple of dice with different numbering systems on them. They're usually bad, where it's like I'm not talking like the Magic the Gathering life dice, which go in order all the way around. I'm talking like I had this one pink sparkly die that I bought from the Mon store back near college, and it was really pretty. It was a really good looking die, but the one was like it wasn't across from the 20. It was like numbered really weird, where it was way more random all the way around, and it wasn't like opposite as you would expect, and it didn't have the generalized numbering. It was like, okay, well, why is the one actually next to like a 2? And then all of a sudden on the other side is like a 20, and it was really weird. I can't quite explain it without looking at it in front of me, but it didn't make sense to look at, and I was like, well, let's see how it rolls. And every time I roll it, I get like a 4 and be like, oh, well, I'm never using this die again. But it used to be that, and the blue one used to be the only 2 D20s I had, so I would roll both of them with advantage.
I mean, it's always good to have like a weird die.
Yeah, now I have
Just in your back
now I have a
pocket.
million dice. Drew has more than me.
I don't like calling it a weird die. Like, oh,
It's a
that's
weird
my
die.
weird die.
It's my weird
it doesn't-
die.
It just does weird things.
Yeah, well, you know which D20s that I never use? My metallic ones. They roll like ass.
Yeah, my metal dice are bad.
I have a problem with metal dice because they're so pretty. I love them. I love having them
The
on the table.
weight feels great in your hand.
When you roll it, it feels nice. It just doesn't roll as well.
It
I
doesn't
don't know.
bounce around.
That's what I want my dice to bounce around. I want it to actually fall on the floor.
The suspense of waiting for it to stop rolling,
Yeah.
as opposed to like the just
thunk. It's just there.
Thunk.
Yeah, honestly, that might be why Patrick rolls so poorly, is because he always uses his metal dice. Like, I don't know if Patrick does this, but I tend to, like, I'll just turn my die over to, like, the face number, so it'll be, all my D20s will just rest on 20.
Yes.
I wonder if he just picks them up, rolls it, and then it always lands on the same bad numbers every time.
Yeah, he rolls rather poorly all the time.
Only with those die, though. Like, with
Yeah.
other dice, it's fine.
Yeah, it's really sad too because I want him to succeed. Where he's making a spell attack roll and he rolls 3 4s in a row, and I'm like, Patrick, you gotta stop. He rolls nat 1s a lot, like too many nat 1s.
I want to be very clear. We're ragging on the dice, not Patrick.
No, not Patrick. His recent character, best character he's ever made.
Doorknob.
Yes.
Doorknob is my favorite character.
How about the moment whenever the Lich was like, "I'll rely on you, Doorknob."
I knew we were all
It was so good. It was one of those moments like, "Oh, we're fucked."
Yeah, and we just let that happen.
Yeah.
I decided in character, no one's not talking to this thing.
And let's say
we're
Patrick's
leaving.
RP rolls have been great lately.
Yeah.
Like his persuasion rolls were all like above 20. And so I was like, well, yeah, he's doing a great job explaining himself, talking to this guy. Of course he's going to get a pass.
Yeah, but it magically worked out for him that time.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing that we didn't metagame, because if we did, I surely would have said, hey, this is a lich that we're dealing with. I think we all should leave now.
You could say the same though for a lich in another campaign that we ran into that I
Yeah.
didn't actually know at the time was a lich until after the conversation, because I was like, I was still, while I was also DMing at the time, was still like an unstudied player. Where I was like, we ran into a lich in another campaign that was friendly, and I was like, oh, well, this is nice.
Yeah, and you were all pretty low level too.
Yeah, there's no way we
is
could have
why,
fought the lich.
yeah, that's why you thought that it wasn't.
Yeah, it was like, there's no way I could have fought that guy. Let's look at this living zombie guy. He's nice.
Yeah.
See, Zach was scaring me a little bit because I've been playing D&D for years now with you guys. I've never gone up against a lich. I don't know what they can do. I've heard that they're awful, but all I had to go off of was like the faces that Zach was making across the table. Like, oh no, what's going on?
I think a lot of what I wanted to accomplish in this campaign is to get the milestone things that you want to do off the checklist, like a pit fiend. You guys have faced a pit fiend now, but you haven't actually killed one yet.
Oh.
So, but it is nice that you have faced one.
Yeah, we're going back to hell because I really want to kill one.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna
Well, you
graduate
still
soon,
have
so-
one to hunt down.
Yep.
Then there was the beholders. You guys have fought an official beholder now. If you hadn't fought one before, now you fought one. I mean, obviously a reskinned one that I made up, but a beholder is off the list now. Now you've run into a lich. You haven't fought a lich, but it's off there.
We're the dragons, Seth.
Next
Where
we
they
have
at?
to have like, I don't know, a red dragon or something, because red dragon I feel like is the go-to.
I've never
Oh,
gone up against
absolutely.
one, ever.
Yeah, but
I would also say blue dragon is very iconic.
oh, for sure. Honestly, I think we've had so many dragons that I'm not hurting for more. It's always pleasant when we see one.
Yeah.
But I want to see some weird shit like fucking rust monsters, carrion crawlers, hook horrors.
Those all sound awful.
Yeah, a carrion crawler, a hook horror would be like, oh my god, they're so creepy.
I've got a mini for one. He looks so stupid, but I would love to use it. I probably will at some point.
That is one thing. Is Zach has like all the minis for the campaigns that I run, so I'm like, oh, I hope he doesn't know about this character, or like I hope he doesn't know about this or this creature.
Well, so I did, as we were playing Descent into Avernus, I made sure, okay, well, if I'm going to be feeding this crippling addiction of buying these stupid booster packs from Icons of the Realms, I might as well get all the cool ones from the Avernus set.
Yeah.
So I did, and most of the characters were named, but I didn't know where they were placed or anything like that. And
There are still some from the set that you guys didn't actually talk to or run into yet.
I know. I'm so disappointed. I bought the Archon, the Cruel set. I know.
You had the opportunity.
Yeah, we never went to Archon's Tower, and I don't think we will.
If you had told us you had Archon minis, I definitely would have gone to that tower.
That's
I-
metagaming, Drew. You can't do that.
But that's
Exactly.
okay. That's good metagaming.
I wanted you to not know what minis were there and stuff, because I was like, okay, well, I need to make sure that their decisions are based around what they actually want to do next.
Yeah, and honestly, I figured we don't have any business going and dealing with Archon like in character.
I barely prepped for it just because I was like, I don't think they would I absolutely don't think they would do this, but on the off chance they do, I have some stuff planned.
Yeah, Zach personally really wanted to go, but Oswin did not. And so, like a good player, I didn't metagame it.
Like a good player, he did metagame.
That's the
Wow, that's an awesome jingle. Where'd you get that from?
State Farm.
I don't recognize it. I think it's the absolute worst when you, as a player, really want to do something, but it's like, oh, my character won't do it. But that would be so fun or cool if we did.
Well, that's specifically because I DM so much. I love playing low intelligence characters like Elijah now, where he's got the wisdom, he's got the strength, and the charisma. He can do it all. But the second it comes to like normal everyday things, he's just like spacing out. He has no clue what's happening if it's not about dungeon delving and killing and swimming specifically. Like in life or death scenarios, one of the best guys to have around. In your diplomatic discussion, probably not the best guy to have around, because he's just gonna say like, well, if I had to make a choice here, I'd make the one that's the best for everybody.
Yeah, he's so wholesome, honestly.
Yeah.
If I were to pick a mascot for the team, Elijah's definitely he's running for it.
Yeah, I like that label too. I think by the end as well, once we play tons and tons more Salt Marsh, as we're obviously going to do and not wait 4 months for the next session.
We'll do it soon.
Yeah, I don't want to give anything to Drew right now, but he's got some really cool stuff that I'm going to work in from his backstory. Because right now he's using that wind magic really cool, and I'm like, oh, this is nice. He's got the wind, he's got the water. What's next?
So cool.
Earth, wind, and water, and fire.
Let's throw
My
that
favorite
into the end.
band.
Earth, wind, and water, and fire.
Yeah, it just rolls off the tongue.
Makes it a little extra spicy.
All right, guys. All right. Any last thoughts on metagaming? This is like about that time we wrap up. Anybody got any final thoughts on metagaming?
Nothing too crazy. It could definitely take away from your table. It could take away from your game. So try to keep it minimized.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, if you're a DM, use it to enhance the game. And if you're a player, if you are metagaming, make sure it's fun.
Like all aspects of D&D, I would say just talk about it with your players. and figure out what the vibe is that you want to go for, because I'm sure there are plenty of tables where you don't have players who want a critical role experience where they're always in character and always thinking of how their character will develop over the course of whatever, and they're not always going to be talking in character, and that's perfectly fine too. So find the balance that works for you, and just don't be a dick.
As with all healthy relationships, communicate.
Exactly.
Thank you guys for so much for listening to this episode of Table Talk Friday. Remember, you can email us at tabletalkfriday@gmail.com if you got any inquiries you would like to send in, questions, comments, concerns, your crazy metagaming story of the one time that player across the table really made you mad. And finally, character who's definitely not one of us talking in a different funny voice as a character, take us out.
Well, yeah, so Oswin would probably say something like, yeah, boy, get out of here. But Zach would just say, have a nice night.
Hi, me again. Thanks for listening to Table Talk Friday, a D&D podcast. I think I said that at the beginning. If you'd like to follow the boys anywhere or send them any inquiries, anything you'd like to say to them, you can do so at tabletalkfriday@gmail.com. Once again, thank you for listening to the show. Come back next Friday. Give us a follow, rate us 5 stars and whatnot. Have a good one. See ya. Bye-bye.